Have you ever paused in the middle of a stressful day and silently asked, is there a better way to feel whole again? What if true healing doesn't come from the outside world, but quietly blooms from within, guided by ancient wisdom? And what if the teachings of the Buddha hold the simple, powerful truths that could help you heal, naturally, deeply, and for good? In today's high-speed world, stress, anxiety, and pain have almost become part of our daily routine. Many people wake up already feeling overwhelmed, carry tension in their bodies throughout the day, and go to bed with a racing mind. In the face of all this, it's easy to reach for quick fixes, medication, distractions, screens, or anything that helps us escape the discomfort, if only for a moment. But what if we've been looking in the wrong direction all along? Imagine waking up and actually feeling rested. Your chest is light, your breath is calm, and your thoughts are clear. You move through your morning not in a rush, but with presence and ease. You feel more in tune with your body, more connected to the life within you. This isn't just a dream, it can be real. And you don't need a miracle to get there. You need awareness. Buddhism teaches that the power to heal is already inside you. It's not locked behind some complex philosophy or reserved for monks on a mountain. It begins with small, intentional moments that return you to yourself. Take, for example, someone who faces daily pressure at work. Their mind races with deadlines, frustrations, and future worries. They feel tightness in their chest, fatigue in their limbs. Instead of numbing that stress with pills or endless distractions, they try something different. A few minutes of mindful breathing, just sitting, observing the breath, and letting thoughts come and go without judgment. With regular practice, something remarkable begins to happen. The mind softens, the body relaxes. The weight they carried starts to lift, and clarity begins to emerge. It's not magic. It's meditation, a core pillar of Buddhist healing that anyone can begin, anywhere, at any time. Welcome to Buddhism Seeds, where we explore how to heal naturally through Buddhist wisdom. This channel offers practical guidance, mindful practices, and ancient insights to help you nurture your health, uplift your spirit, and walk a more peaceful path. Thousands of viewers visit our videos, but less than 0.2% subscribe. If you find even a moment of value here, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It's a small act that helps us grow and helps this wisdom reach more people like you. In this video, we'll begin your journey into the mind-body connection, the healing power of meditation, and how Buddhist teachings can help you feel better not just mentally, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So let's begin by exploring one of the most important foundations of Buddhist healing, the relationship between your mind and your body. Previously, we explored how meditation helps restore harmony between mind and body. Now, let's go even deeper into the power of mindfulness and how it transforms the way we experience thoughts, emotions, and healing. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts, not as absolute truths, but like drifting clouds across a wide, open sky. Thoughts arise, pass by, and dissolve, unless we cling to them. Instead of being swept away by negativity or overthinking, mindfulness allows us to notice, acknowledge, and let go. This gentle shift in awareness lifts an invisible weight from our minds and, in turn, benefits the body. Try this simple yet powerful exercise. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Gently close your eyes Inhale slowly and deeply. As you exhale, bring your attention to your body. Can you feel your jaw tightening? Are your shoulders rising toward your ears? With every breath, direct your awareness to those tense spots. Imagine the tension softening, melting away like ice under the sun. This is not imagination, it's awareness in action. By anchoring your breath to your body, you give yourself permission to release pressure and welcome healing. But mindfulness isn't just about physical tension. It's also about how we relate to emotions. In Buddhism, emotions are understood as temporary states, just like the ever-changing weather. Joy, anger, sadness, excitement, they all come and go. The problem arises when we identify with them. Instead of saying, "I am angry," we can begin to say, "Anger is present." That small change in language creates space between us and our emotions. Here's a mindful habit to try. When a strong emotion arises, instead of reacting immediately, take a breath and gently ask yourself, "What is this emotion trying to teach me?" This question shifts the focus from suffering to understanding. Let's say you feel angry. Instead of lashing out or suppressing it, take a moment. Sit with it. Reflect. What triggered this feeling? What part of you feels unseen or unheard? In doing this, you begin to respond, not just react. And with each mindful response, you grow in clarity and compassion. Speaking of compassion, another essential Buddhist practice for emotional healing is metta, or loving kindness. Metta means sending warm, sincere wishes to yourself and others. It might sound simple, but its impact is profound. When you say softly to yourself, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be at peace," you're not just saying words, you're opening your heart. This act of self-kindness creates an emotional shift. Many people report feeling calmer, lighter, and more open after metta practice, as if the heavy fog of judgment and resentment begins to lift. It's as if you're giving your heart space to breathe. And this isn't just emotional, it's physical too. Scientific research and Buddhist tradition both agree. Regular meditation supports physical well-being. Meditation reduces stress hormones, balances blood pressure, and strengthens emotional regulation. Even just 5 minutes a day, eyes closed, attention on breath, can start rewiring your inner world. If your thoughts wander, and they will, gently bring them back to the breath. Don't judge yourself, just return. Over time, this practice builds a deeper connection between your awareness and your body. Want to go further? Consider gentle yoga, a practice that unites breath, movement, and mindfulness. In each pose, you tune into your body's sensations. Notice what feels tight or free, and move with care. This body awareness is healing in itself. It teaches you to listen, to truly listen, to what your body needs. And let's not forget a crucial part of this connection: what you feed your body. In Buddhism, mindful eating is a practice of respect. What we consume directly affects how we feel, physically and mentally. After learning how meditation and mindful movement connect us to the body, let's now turn to a simple but powerful act we do every day: eating. In Buddhism, even eating can become a path to healing when done with awareness. Mindful eating isn't about strict diets or counting calories. It's about tuning in to the food itself, the way you eat it, and the way it makes you feel. Instead of rushing through meals while scrolling on your phone or watching TV, Buddhism invites us to bring full attention to each bite. Start with something small. The next time you eat, whether it's a full meal or just a snack, pause before you begin. Look closely at your food. Notice its colors, its textures, its shape. Can you feel gratitude for the hands that prepared it, for the earth that grew it? As you take a bite, chew slowly. Feel the texture on your tongue. Notice the flavor as it unfolds. Be present with the process, noticing, appreciating. This simple act of awareness can deepen your connection to the food and your body. When we eat mindfully, we're not just nourishing the body, we're also healing our relationship with food. Over time, you may notice that you feel fuller, with less, more satisfied, and more in tune with what your body truly needs. But healing doesn't stop at the individual level. Buddhism reminds us of the importance of Sangha, the community. Being part of a supportive group, even a small one, can uplift your emotional state and accelerate your healing. We are not meant to carry everything alone. Sharing your thoughts, your pain, or your hopes with someone you trust can be profoundly freeing. You might find that when you speak, others truly listen. And when others speak, you feel less alone in your journey. In Buddhism, healing is never isolated, it is relational. Just being heard and seen by another person can remind you of your worth, your strength, and your humanity. Whether it's a spiritual group, close friends, or even an online space of kindred minds, the presence of others walking a similar path can make your steps feel lighter. Let's pause and reflect on everything we've covered so far. You've learned how mindfulness transforms daily life, whether it's through conscious breathing, emotional awareness, loving kindness, or now, mindful eating and community support. These practices create harmony between the mind and the body, turning ordinary moments into gateways for healing. But we're just beginning. At the very heart of Buddhist healing lies a timeless, gentle force, meditation. It is not an escape, but a return. Not a silence that hides, but a silence that heals. As we discovered earlier, meditation isn't just a method of calming the mind, it is also a doorway to emotional and physical healing. And one of the most beautiful gifts it offers is the ability to meet our pain with kindness instead of fear. Through regular meditation, we begin to soften our inner responses. Rather than reacting to stress or discomfort with panic or avoidance, we learn to stay present, to breathe, and to respond with compassion. This self-compassion is at the heart of Buddhist healing. In Buddhist teachings, compassion is not optional, it is essential. It is a foundation stone. As we sit in meditation, we have the chance to cultivate loving kindness, a deep wish for happiness, peace, and well-being for ourselves and others. These silent, sincere wishes ripple outward like gentle waves across a still lake. You might silently repeat, "May I be well. May others be free from suffering." These simple phrases create a profound emotional shift. When we feel emotionally supported and connected, healing happens more easily, both mentally and physically. Another powerful meditation technique is visualization. This practice invites us to use our imagination as a healing tool. You might picture yourself in a peaceful forest, near a quiet stream, or bathed in a soft golden light. As you visualize, you begin to feel that sense of peace become real. Your breath deepens, your body softens. You may even feel a gentle warmth spreading across your chest or back. For some, visualization goes beyond relaxation. People have shared stories of imagining their bodies healing, from chronic pain, from fatigue, even from illness, and witnessing real, measurable improvements over time. Of course, this isn't a replacement for medicine, but it reveals how powerful the mind-body connection truly is. It's important to remember that meditation is a practice, not a shortcut. Like learning a musical instrument or a new language, it takes patience, consistency, and a gentle heart. Some days may feel effortless, others you'll struggle to sit still. That's all part of the journey. Start small. Even 5 minutes of meditation can begin to create shifts in how you feel, how you think, and how you live. Many people find it helpful to meditate in the morning to set a calm tone for the day, or at night as a peaceful close. Over time, you can slowly increase the length as your comfort grows. If sitting in silence feels difficult, you're not alone. Consider trying guided meditations. There are many free resources online, or joining a meditation group. Practicing with others can offer structure, encouragement, and a sense of shared purpose. You might even find unexpected motivation by simply knowing others are walking the same path beside you. Another remarkable benefit of regular meditation is the growth of self-awareness. You begin to observe your thought patterns, notice emotional habits, and recognize your internal reactions to life's challenges. With that awareness comes choice, and that's the first step toward true freedom. As you become more in tune with yourself, something else happens. Your relationships begin to shift. With deeper empathy and understanding, you connect more sincerely with others. Your healing helps create space for the healing of those around you. Ultimately, healing through meditation is a deeply personal journey. Some feel change quickly. For others, the transformation is slow and steady. There's no right way, only your way. What matters most is to stay open, stay present, and trust the path as it unfolds. In essence, meditation is a sacred space, a place where you can breathe, release, restore, and rediscover yourself. Whether you practice mindfulness, visualization, or loving kindness, each moment spent in stillness helps nurture your inner world. Each breath becomes a thread in the tapestry of your healing. So be gentle with yourself. Walk slowly. Trust deeply. Because healing is not a race, it is a lifelong unfolding. And in that journey, meditation can be your quiet guide, your steady companion. After exploring the role of meditation in nurturing self-awareness and emotional healing, we now turn to one of the most profound teachings in Buddhism: acceptance. When practiced with mindfulness, acceptance becomes a powerful bridge to inner peace. Life often presents us with challenges that feel heavy, like invisible stones we carry on our shoulders. These burdens may come from many directions: a strained relationship, constant pressure at work, chronic illness, or even the relentless chatter of our own minds. Sometimes it feels like we're being pulled in every direction, with no relief in sight. But what if there was a different way to carry these challenges? Buddhism teaches that acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. It doesn't mean we agree with everything that happens. It doesn't mean we give up. Instead, acceptance means recognizing reality as it is, especially the parts we cannot change, and learning to flow with it rather than fight against it. Picture a calm river. As it flows downstream, it encounters rocks and branches. But does it stop? Number. The river doesn't resist. It curves around the obstacle and keeps moving forward. This is how acceptance works. When we accept what is, we stop wasting energy on resistance, and we start creating space for healing. Think of a time when life didn't go your way. Perhaps you experienced a loss, a setback, or a personal disappointment. Instead of replaying that pain again and again in your mind, what if you chose to simply acknowledge it? Just saying, "This happened. I feel this way." And that's okay. That small act of recognition begins to shift everything. Acceptance allows us to redirect our attention toward what we can control: our attitude, our responses, and our inner growth. It invites us to stop clinging to what should have been and begin living fully in the now. This is where mindfulness becomes essential. Through mindfulness, we learn to stay present, not judging, not fixing, just noticing. When we observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations with compassion, we begin to soften. Imagine sitting quietly. Your eyes are closed, your breath moves gently in and out. Suddenly, you feel tension in your chest, maybe sadness, frustration, or anxiety. Rather than pushing those feelings away or pretending they're not there, you gently say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this." That simple permission opens the door to healing. True peace isn't found by trying to control everything around us. In fact, trying to force life into a perfect shape often leads to more suffering. Instead, peace comes when we loosen our grip. Life is unpredictable. Things change. People leave. Plans fall apart. But when we accept the impermanence of life, we start to appreciate each moment more fully because we know it won't last forever. This doesn't mean we stop dreaming, hoping, or striving for better. It means we live with more grace, embracing the journey wherever it may lead. Buddhism also reminds us of a universal truth. Suffering is part of life. It's not a punishment or a failure. It's simply the human condition. Pain is natural, but our resistance to pain, that's where suffering multiplies. Let's look at a real-life example. Someone living with a chronic illness. At first, they may feel overwhelmed, angry, hopeless, even betrayed by their own body. These feelings are valid, but if they hold on tightly to that resistance, it can deepen their suffering. With time and reflection, they may begin to accept their condition, not because it's easy, but because they no longer want to fight what cannot be changed. In that acceptance, something beautiful can emerge: resilience, clarity, and even unexpected joy. They may discover inner strength they never knew they had. And from that personal acceptance comes something even more powerful: compassion. When we accept our own pain, we become more open to the pain of others. We realize that everyone is carrying something. This shared understanding strengthens our human connection. We become gentler, more forgiving, not just to ourselves, but to those around us. But acceptance isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Some days it comes easily. Other days, it takes everything we have. But with mindfulness, we can return to it again and again, like a steady anchor through the waves of life. As we saw earlier, true inner peace doesn't come from escaping life's discomforts. It comes from facing them with courage, grace, and a steady heart. When we accept life as it is, we begin to build the solid foundation needed for deep healing and transformation. Practices like meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing to reflect during a busy day all help us return to the present moment. Each time we stop and take a breath, we create space, a moment of clarity in which peace can arise. These are not grand gestures, but small acts of returning to ourselves, and over time, they reshape the way we respond to life. Buddhism teaches that the journey toward inner peace is not about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about turning toward what's uncomfortable, with open eyes and an open heart. When we acknowledge what we're going through without judgment or resistance, we loosen the grip of suffering. This mindful acceptance allows us to stop clinging to the past and worrying endlessly about the future. We begin to focus on what we can do, right now, in this very moment. That's where healing happens, in the now. And as we lean into this mindset, something else naturally starts to arise. Gratitude. Acceptance opens the door to appreciation. Even in the midst of difficulty, we begin to notice the small joys. A kind word from a friend, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the steady rhythm of our breath. Gratitude doesn't erase our pain, but it shifts our perspective. It brings balance to our emotional landscape. Instead of focusing on what's missing, we begin to see what's already here. That one shift from lack to appreciation can lighten the heart in an instant. It invites in peace. It reconnects us to the richness of life that's been here all along. In summary, the Buddhist philosophy of acceptance teaches us something both profound and liberating. Peace doesn't come from fixing everything, it comes from embracing what is. By recognizing what we cannot control and choosing to focus on how we respond, we become more rooted, more present, and more calm. Through mindfulness, we awaken to a deeper, more fulfilling experience of life, one that includes sorrow and joy, struggle and beauty. But this journey isn't about arriving at some perfect state. Acceptance is not a final destination. It's a way of walking, a way of being. With each step, we learn, we grow, and we heal. And as we begin to treat ourselves with greater understanding, we naturally extend that same compassion to others. This brings us to the next essential practice in Buddhist healing, one that lives at the very heart of the tradition: loving kindness, or metta. A practice of healing not only the mind, but also the heart. In the previous section, we explored how loving kindness, metta, begins with ourselves. Now, let's see how this compassion, once nurtured within, begins to ripple outward, touching everyone around us in quiet but powerful ways. Instead of reacting with harshness or holding on to resentment, metta invites us to respond with gentleness, with empathy, with love. Think back to a moment when someone upset you, a friend who disappointed you, or perhaps a stranger who spoke to you with impatience or rudeness. The natural reaction might be anger, judgment, or withdrawal. But what if, instead of holding on to those heavy emotions, you tried something different? Close your eyes. Picture that person in your mind, not as an enemy, but as a human being who, like you, experiences pain, fear, and hope. Now silently wish them well. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be at peace. At first, this may feel unusual, even difficult, but over time, this practice can be deeply liberating. By choosing to release negative emotions, we make space for something softer, lighter, and healing to enter our hearts. Compassion, when practiced consistently, does more than soothe personal pain. It builds community. When we offer kindness to those around us, our relationships shift, trust grows, bonds deepen. Imagine a circle of friends who come together not just to talk, but to silently send loving wishes to one another. This kind of shared intention can uplift an entire group. It creates an atmosphere where everyone feels seen, supported, and safe. This is the quiet strength of collective compassion. Buddhism reminds us that we are not isolated islands. We are all part of a vast, interconnected ocean of life. When you practice loving kindness, you begin to truly feel that interconnection. Your well-being is tied to the well-being of others. Their happiness becomes meaningful to you because it is also your own. Think of a small, thoughtful action, helping someone carry their groceries, listening attentively to a friend in need, offering a kind word to someone going through a hard time. These may seem insignificant, but they are not. Every small act of kindness plants a seed of healing in the world around you. When you choose to approach life with a compassionate heart, you create an invisible atmosphere of warmth. The people around you feel it, and you feel it too. Even simple gestures, a smile, a thank you, a held door, a gentle compliment, have the power to ease someone's suffering. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be inspired to pass that kindness on. In this way, compassion becomes a chain reaction of healing. But metta isn't just for others, it's also for you. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets. It's part of being human. But holding on to guilt or self-criticism only deepens our wounds. Through self-compassion, we learn to say, "I did the best I could. I am worthy of forgiveness." This inner gentleness can dissolve shame and open the door to profound peace. To help reinforce this mindset, you might create small daily rituals. Light a candle in the morning and silently send warm wishes to yourself and others. Write a short letter to your future self, filled with love and encouragement. These quiet acts can serve as reminders that compassion is not something far away. It lives in your daily choices. Healing doesn't happen in one grand moment. It unfolds gently over time, like petals opening. And with every repetition of loving kindness, it becomes more natural, more a part of who you are. And in moments of pain or despair, when the world feels overwhelming, you can return to this practice. Let the warmth of compassion be your refuge. Let it be the steady light in the dark reminding you, you are not alone. With each breath, you hold the power to heal and to help heal the world. So allow metta, loving kindness, to become your daily companion. Let every thought, every wish, and every act be rooted in love. Because when you lead with an open heart, your journey of healing expands beyond yourself and gently touches the lives of everyone you meet. As we've seen, compassion and loving kindness can open the heart and lighten the spirit. But to truly walk the healing path together, we also need a steady practice that helps us face the daily storms of life, especially stress and anxiety. That's where mindfulness becomes a powerful companion. In today's fast-moving, high-pressure world, stress and anxiety are almost constant visitors. Deadlines, responsibilities, uncertainty, and information overload can leave us feeling like we're drowning in thoughts and emotions. Many people feel lost, like they're running on a treadmill that never stops. But Buddhism offers a timeless tool to meet this chaos: mindfulness. At its core, mindfulness is simply the practice of being fully present, aware of your thoughts, your feelings, your physical body, and the environment around you, without judging anything that arises. It's like pressing the pause button in the middle of a noisy, hectic day and stepping into a quiet space within. Imagine sitting in a crowded cafe, the clatter of coffee cups, snippets of conversation, the hum of movement all around you. Yet, instead of getting swept up in the noise or lost in thought, you bring your focus to your breath. You inhale slowly, feeling the air move into your lungs. You exhale with intention, letting go of the tension in your shoulders and jaw. That one conscious breath becomes your anchor. This simple shift, attention to breath, can ease anxiety, reduce overwhelm, and help you reconnect with the present moment. Mindfulness also helps us recognize our thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. For instance, if you're feeling nervous about an upcoming meeting or conversation, you don't have to pretend you're fine or suppress the feeling. Instead, you gently acknowledge it. I feel anxious, and that's okay. This acceptance softens the intensity. It creates space. It reminds you that you are not your anxiety. You are the one observing it. One of the most transformative aspects of mindfulness is that it changes your relationship with your thoughts. In Buddhism, it's taught that the mind can become a trap of negativity if left unchecked. But through mindfulness, we begin to see thoughts for what they truly are: impermanent, shifting, like clouds drifting across the sky. They come, they go, but you remain still, grounded like a tree with deep roots. Another beautiful benefit of mindfulness is that it naturally deepens your sense of compassion. When you become more aware of your own inner struggles, you also become more understanding of others. You realize that you're not the only one who feels stressed, afraid, or overwhelmed. This awareness can lead to a quiet sense of connection and community, reminding you that you are never truly alone. So, how do we bring mindfulness into our daily lives? You don't need hours of meditation or a silent retreat. Start with small, simple practices woven into your everyday routine. Try mindful eating. Before your next meal, take a moment. Look at the food on your plate. Notice its colors, textures, and aromas. As you take each bite, chew slowly. Taste, feel, be present. Not only will you enjoy your food more, but you'll also create a moment of calm amidst the rush of the day. You can also practice mindfulness while walking. Instead of rushing from place to place on autopilot, slow down. Feel each footstep. Notice how your body moves, how your arms swing, how the air feels on your skin. Walking becomes more than movement. It becomes a grounding meditation. Breathing exercises are another simple but powerful tool. One technique you can try is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale gently for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly and completely for 8 seconds. Repeat this cycle several times. This practice helps to calm the nervous system, release stress, and return your mind to the present moment. Over time, these small moments of mindfulness add up. They begin to reshape how you move through the world, more centered, more peaceful, more present. As we explored earlier, even a few mindful breaths can calm the nervous system and bring clarity to a noisy mind. And as mindfulness becomes part of your daily rhythm, you'll begin to notice how your body and emotions start to respond in powerful, healing ways. Stress, though often invisible, tends to leave very real marks on the body. It can show up as tight shoulders, tension headaches, shallow breathing, or persistent fatigue. These physical signs are your body's way of whispering, sometimes shouting, that it needs care. By practicing mindfulness, you become more attuned to these signals. Instead of ignoring or powering through the discomfort, you begin to notice, my jaw is tight. My breath feels shallow. I'm feeling drained. This gentle awareness gives you the power to pause, to stretch, to breathe deeply, or simply take a moment to rest. You're no longer reacting blindly, you're responding consciously. Mindfulness also helps you navigate the terrain of difficult emotions. When feelings like anger, fear, or sadness surface, the instinct is often to suppress or escape them. But mindfulness invites you to do something radically different, to stay. Instead of saying, I shouldn't feel this, Try saying, "This is how I feel right now, and it's okay." By allowing emotions to be felt without judgment or resistance, you give them room to move through you rather than getting stuck. These moments of emotional honesty can be deeply healing. They remind you that emotions, like waves, rise and fall. They don't define you, they simply pass through. To support this inner work, consider setting up a simple daily mindfulness routine. Start with just 5 minutes. Find a quiet spot. Sit comfortably. Focus on your breath, how it enters, how it leaves. If your mind wanders, gently guide it back, again and again. Over time, this practice becomes a safe place you can return to, no matter what life throws your way. If sitting silently feels hard at first, you can explore guided meditations. There are many free resources and apps that offer calming voice prompts and gentle music to guide you. These tools can help you stay committed, especially in the beginning. The beauty of mindfulness is that it's incredibly flexible. You can practice it anytime, anywhere, while brushing your teeth, waiting in line, or even driving, with eyes open, of course. Each mindful moment becomes a drop in the bucket of peace, and soon the bucket overflows. And remember, be patient with yourself. Mindfulness is a journey, not a destination. Some days your mind will be calm, others it will be restless. That's perfectly normal. The key is to keep showing up for yourself, for your well-being, and for the life you want to live. In conclusion, mindfulness is a powerful ally in managing stress and anxiety. By becoming more present and treating yourself with kindness, you create space for calm to enter. And as you develop this skill, you'll find yourself better equipped to face life's challenges with clarity and resilience. Now, let's take the next step and explore another essential aspect of emotional healing: how Buddhist practices can help us transform negative emotions, not by rejecting them, but by understanding them at their core. In the previous section, we learned how mindfulness allows us to observe our emotions without judgment. Now, let's go deeper into how Buddhist practices help us gently transform those emotions, especially the difficult ones, into opportunities for healing and inner strength. Often, when negative emotions arise, anger, shame, sadness, jealousy, we don't just feel them. We judge ourselves for feeling them. We tell ourselves we shouldn't feel this way. But Buddhism teaches us a more compassionate response. Instead of criticizing ourselves, we can simply say, "It's okay to feel this." This one phrase can be incredibly healing. When we treat ourselves with the same kindness we'd offer a close friend, we begin to create the space our hearts need to heal. Imagine someone you care about is going through a rough time. You wouldn't scold them for being upset. You'd listen, support, and offer warmth. That same tenderness can and should be given to ourselves. Another powerful tool is meditation. Through meditation, we carve out quiet time to observe our thoughts and emotions as they are, without needing to fix or change anything. As we sit in stillness, we begin to see emotions for what they truly are: temporary. Like waves in the ocean, they rise and fall, but they are not who we are. Beneath those waves lies a calm, unchanging depth. That depth is your true self. Gratitude is another essential practice. Buddhism teaches us to shift our attention toward the good, even the small things. A warm cup of tea, a kind smile, a deep breath. When we consciously choose to notice what is right in our lives, it weakens the grip of negativity. Try keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, Write down 3 things you're thankful for. Over time, this simple habit begins to rewire your mind to see life more fully, not just the shadows, but the light as well. Another deeply transformative practice is loving kindness meditation, or metta. In moments of emotional difficulty, you can close your eyes and silently repeat, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe." These words, when spoken with sincerity, soften the heart. And as you grow more comfortable, you can extend these wishes to others, even to those who've hurt you. Slowly, this practice replaces resentment with understanding and separation with connection. Buddhism also reminds us of an important truth. Everything changes. Emotions are not permanent. If you're feeling sadness today, know that it won't last forever. If anxiety arises, it too will eventually fade. This awareness doesn't erase discomfort, but it brings perspective. And with perspective comes peace. Another insight from Buddhist philosophy is the importance of letting go. We often cling tightly to our emotions, identifying with them. But when we realize, "I am not my anger, I am not my fear," we create room for new experiences. Picture yourself walking uphill, carrying a heavy backpack. Letting go of that burden doesn't make the path disappear, but it certainly makes the walk lighter. Sometimes, sharing our emotions can help us see them more clearly. Talking with a trusted friend, mentor, or teacher can offer insights we might not reach on our own. In Buddhism, the Sangha, or community, plays a vital role in our healing. Being surrounded by people who listen without judgment and walk a similar path makes the journey feel less lonely and far more supportive. Importantly, Buddhism doesn't tell us to suppress our struggles. It welcomes them. Because struggles are not signs of failure, they're signs of being human. It's okay to feel sadness. It's okay to feel anger. These emotions don't make us weak. They make us real. And when we give ourselves permission to feel, we also give ourselves permission to grow. As we continue to practice mindfulness, meditation, and loving kindness, something subtle begins to shift. The power that negative emotions once had over us begins to fade. They may still arise, but they no longer control our actions, our identity, or our peace. They come, and with compassion, we let them go. Previously, we explored how mindfulness, gratitude, loving kindness, and the practice of letting go can reshape our emotional lives. By cultivating awareness and self-compassion each day, we gradually build resilience and begin walking through life's challenges with greater ease, steadiness, and grace. Now, let's take this wisdom a step further by looking at how Buddhism can help us heal in the face of chronic illness, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Chronic illness often feels like a heavy burden, one that lingers, draining our energy and sometimes dimming the joy we once knew. The pain may be constant, the limitations frustrating. It's easy to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" or "Will it ever end?" But Buddhism gently encourages a different approach. Rather than sinking into frustration, we are invited to ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I find peace even here?" At the heart of this shift is mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present in each moment without judgment. When living with chronic illness, mindfulness can help you become more aware of your thoughts, your body, and your emotional responses, without letting those things define your identity. Imagine waking up with pain, as so many people do. Instead of immediately resisting it or tensing up, you pause. You take a deep breath. You gently observe, where is the pain? What does it feel like? Sharp, dull, throbbing? Can I meet this sensation with curiosity instead of fear? This simple act of conscious attention softens the struggle. You shift from being at war with your body to being in relationship with it. You're no longer just someone suffering with illness. You become someone observing, learning, and growing through the experience. Another essential practice in Buddhist healing is loving kindness, or metta. When we're unwell, it's easy for our inner voice to turn harsh. We may feel frustrated with our bodies or blame ourselves for not doing enough. Instead, Buddhism invites us to offer kindness inward. Silently say to yourself, "May I be free from pain. May I be safe. May I be at peace." These phrases may seem simple, but they nurture a profound shift. With practice, they transform how we relate to our suffering, replacing blame with compassion and fear with acceptance. Buddhism also teaches us about impermanence, the understanding that everything, including pain, is constantly changing. This awareness helps us hold our discomfort with a lighter touch. Chronic illness may feel endless, but our experience of it shifts from day to day, moment to moment. No state, no emotion, no sensation is truly permanent. This perspective allows us to stop seeing chronic illness as a life sentence and start seeing it as one chapter in a larger, ever-evolving story. Within this chapter, there is still room for meaning, joy, and transformation. Another powerful tool is mindful movement. Gentle practices like yoga or Tai Chi are not just physical, they are meditations in motion. They teach us to move with awareness, to listen to what the body needs, and to honor it without forcing or pushing. These movements foster both strength and softness, helping us reconnect the mind and body with compassion. And just as important as internal practices is the support we find externally. Buddhism places great value on Sangha, the spiritual community. When you're dealing with chronic illness, being part of a caring community can be incredibly healing. Talking to others who understand your struggles, sharing your experiences, and simply being heard can ease the emotional burden. That sense of being seen, accepted, and not alone can offer more comfort than we often realize. Healing doesn't always mean curing. Sometimes it means connecting. It means softening into your reality and realizing that life, with all its challenges, still holds beauty. In the previous section, we reflected on how mindfulness, loving kindness, and acceptance can guide us through the challenges of chronic illness. Now, let's explore how simple daily habits like journaling, mindful eating, and meditation can support and deepen that healing journey. When living with chronic illness, your emotional landscape can feel complex and overwhelming. One powerful way to process these emotions is through journaling. Writing is more than just putting words on a page. It's a space to release, reflect, and reconnect with your inner world. You might write about your physical pain or emotional frustration, but don't stop there. Also note moments of peace, gratitude, or even small joys you noticed in the day. Maybe it was the sunlight through your window or a kind message from a friend. Over time, this practice helps you develop a more balanced, compassionate view of your experience, not defined only by struggle, but enriched by growth and resilience. Another essential aspect of healing is nutrition. In Buddhism, mindful eating isn't just about what we eat, but how we eat it. It's about bringing full attention to the act of nourishing our bodies and honoring them with care. Imagine sitting down for a meal, not in a rush, not distracted by a phone, but simply present. You take a breath, you look at your food, you notice the colors, the textures, the aroma. Then you slowly take a bite, chewing with intention, tasting each flavor. This is the heart of mindful eating. So often, we eat out of habit, stress, or boredom. We reach for food to fill emotional gaps rather than to nourish ourselves. But when we slow down and tune in, we begin to recognize our true hunger cues. We ask ourselves, am I truly hungry, or am I trying to soothe an emotion? This awareness helps us make better choices, choices that support healing. In Buddhism, food is often viewed as medicine. Whole, fresh foods, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, are seen as sacred gifts that replenish energy and promote balance. By eating mindfully, you not only support your body's physical health, but also cultivate gratitude for the nourishment life provides. Alongside nutrition, meditation remains a powerful ally. Even just a few minutes each day can help clear the fog of fatigue and emotional exhaustion. With regular practice, meditation can reduce stress, improve resilience, and help you face the ups and downs of chronic illness with steadiness and perspective. And perhaps one of the most important lessons Buddhism offers is the value of patience. Healing isn't linear. Some days will feel light and hopeful. Others may feel heavy and slow. Buddhism teaches us to meet each day with curiosity and patience. Every step, even the smallest, is part of the path. Celebrate the little victories, a good night's sleep, a smile you managed to share, a moment of relief. In the end, healing is not about rushing to a finish line. It's about walking gently, staying present, and finding meaning along the way. Ask yourself, what has this experience taught me about myself? Maybe it's shown you your resilience. Maybe it's deepened your empathy. Each insight becomes part of your growth. To summarize, the Buddhist approach to healing chronic illness is holistic. It embraces the mind, body, and spirit. Through awareness, compassion, community, and acceptance, you begin to create your own path toward well-being. Every breath, every bite, every moment matters. In the previous section, we explored how mindfulness, nutrition, and compassionate patience support long-term healing. Now, let's take a closer look at how our daily lifestyle choices, including how we eat, rest, move, and live, can create a foundation for lasting well-being. We all know that what we eat affects how we feel. While sugary or heavily processed foods might give a quick burst of energy, they often leave us feeling sluggish and depleted. On the other hand, when we choose to nourish ourselves with whole, natural foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, we give our bodies the fuel they need to function, heal, and thrive. But mindful eating goes beyond food quality. It also includes gratitude. Before beginning your meal, pause for a moment. Reflect on everything that brought the food to your plate, the farmers who grew it, the hands that harvested it, the people who prepared it. This moment of thankfulness transforms a simple meal into something sacred. It grounds you in presence and cultivates a positive mindset, which supports emotional healing as much as physical nourishment. But healing doesn't stop at the table. Our lifestyle choices also play a crucial role in supporting balance and vitality. In Buddhism, balance is everything. The balance between work and rest, between doing and being. If we constantly push ourselves, we eventually burn out. That's why taking time to recharge is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Whether it's reading a book, walking barefoot in the grass, tending a garden, or simply sitting in silence for a few moments, these quiet pauses restore the nervous system and replenish our inner energy. Physical activity is equally important. Moving the body doesn't have to be intense, it just has to be regular and joyful. A brisk walk, gentle yoga, a swim, or dancing in your living room, whatever brings you movement and joy can uplift your mood, boost circulation, and support your mental clarity. And let's not forget the healing power of sleep. Though often overlooked, restful sleep is essential. During sleep, the body repairs itself. The mind integrates emotions. The heart finds rest. Creating a soothing bedtime ritual, like turning off screens an hour before bed, doing a few gentle stretches, or reading a calming book, can make a huge difference in the quality of your rest. When you eat well, you feel better. When you feel better, you're more likely to move your body. When you move regularly, you sleep more deeply. And when you rest well, you make clearer choices about what to eat. This is the cycle of healing, and it begins with awareness. Buddhism teaches that every action has a consequence. Every choice we make, how we nourish, how we move, how we rest, shapes our experience of life. By becoming mindful of our daily habits, we begin to align our lifestyle with our healing intentions. Of course, this journey isn't perfect. There will be days when you eat something you regret, or skip your walk, or feel too tired to meditate. That's okay. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. When you stumble, don't judge yourself. Instead, recognize the moment and gently return to the path with kindness. To support your mindful eating journey, try keeping a simple food journal. Each day, jot down what you ate, how you felt before and after, and any cravings or emotional triggers you noticed. This gentle awareness helps uncover patterns and opens the door to more conscious, compassionate choices. And as you continue this journey, remember to celebrate the small wins. Choosing a nourishing snack, taking a breath before your meal, pausing to stretch. These small steps build powerful momentum. In the previous section, we saw how mindful eating and lifestyle choices, when practiced consistently, can transform our well-being from the inside out. Every small act of self-care, each nourishing meal, restful night, or mindful pause becomes a step toward healing. And as with any meaningful journey, every step counts. These gentle changes may seem small at first, but over time they add up, leading to profound shifts in how you feel, how you move through the world, and how you relate to yourself. Incorporating mindfulness and balance into daily life may take patience, but the rewards are lasting. Increased vitality, emotional resilience, and a deeper, quieter sense of joy. As you continue along this path, you'll begin to notice how your choices become more aligned with your values. You'll listen more closely to your body. You'll care more gently for your spirit. And in doing so, you'll cultivate something truly powerful, self-love rooted in wisdom. Healing, after all, isn't only about fixing what's broken. It's also about nurturing what is already whole within you. Your inner peace, your strength, your capacity to grow and transform. When you honor your needs, move with intention, and live with awareness, you create a life that reflects the very heart of Buddhist teachings, that every moment holds the potential for awakening. So take your time, celebrate each mindful breath, trust the journey. And now, let's turn our focus to another area where Buddhist wisdom can bring clarity and calm. managing stress and anxiety in today's busy world. Stress and anxiety are familiar companions in modern life. Many people feel trapped in cycles of overthinking, pressure, and emotional fatigue, searching endlessly for peace, but rarely finding it. But what if you could shift that experience by applying ancient wisdom that has guided countless generations? Buddhism offers simple yet powerful tools to help calm the mind and steady the heart. It teaches that much of our suffering comes from attachment to expectations, to desires, to thoughts we can't seem to let go of. When we cling tightly to what we think should be, we create tension. Picture a balloon filled with air. If you grip it tightly, it strains and could burst at any moment. But if you open your hand and release it, it floats gently, free. The same goes for our thoughts. When we loosen our grip, we give ourselves room to breathe. One of the most effective tools for this is mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, we bring our awareness to the present moment. Stress often pulls us backward into regret or forward into worry. But mindfulness brings us home, to now. Try this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, gently bring your attention to your breath. Inhale slowly, exhale deeply. Notice the sensation of the air moving in and out. When your mind drifts, as it will, guide it back to the breath without judgment. Each return is a moment of healing. Another core practice is meditation. Just a few minutes a day can create a sanctuary of stillness in a busy mind. Sit comfortably in a quiet space. Close your eyes. As you breathe in, imagine energy and clarity entering your body. As you breathe out, let go of stress and tension. This simple visualization can bring peace and refresh your spirit. Buddhism also reminds us of the importance of compassion, especially when we are struggling. Often we criticize ourselves for feeling anxious or overwhelmed. We say, "I shouldn't feel this way." But these thoughts only deepen our suffering. Instead, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge your emotions gently. It's okay to feel this. I'm doing the best I can. Treat yourself as you would treat a close friend, with patience, kindness, and care. And to deepen that compassion, try loving kindness meditation, or metta, a powerful practice of sending well wishes to yourself and others. In the last section, we touched on the powerful practice of loving kindness meditation, metta, a practice that opens the heart and brings softness to moments of stress. Now, let's walk through this practice step by step and explore how it connects with other core teachings in Buddhism to help us heal. Begin by finding a quiet space where you feel safe and at ease. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Feel your body settle, your mind slow down. Then, silently repeat these simple yet profound phrases. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. Let each phrase settle into your heart as you say it. After a few minutes, gently shift your focus. Send those same wishes to someone you care about. Then, extend them to someone you feel neutral toward, maybe a neighbor or a colleague. And finally, send those wishes to someone with whom you've had difficulty. This expansion of love fosters deep compassion. It softens hardened emotions, dissolves resentment, and eases inner tension. With consistent practice, you may begin to notice that the emotional weight you once carried becomes lighter. Another fundamental teaching in Buddhism that supports emotional balance is the acceptance of impermanence. Everything, our circumstances, our emotions, our thoughts, is in constant motion. Nothing stays the same forever. So when you feel stress rising, pause and remind yourself, this too shall pass. Just like clouds drifting across the sky, your emotions are passing weather, not permanent storms. Holding on to pain only extends our suffering, but when we acknowledge its temporary nature, we make space for ease and release. In addition to these mental practices, you can integrate small daily rituals that anchor you in the present. These can be as simple as sipping a warm cup of tea with full attention, walking barefoot on grass, or watching leaves sway in the wind. Let your senses guide you. Feel the warmth of the cup. Breathe in the earthy aroma of the tea. Hear the gentle rustle of nature. These moments become gentle pauses of peace within a fast-paced day. Connection with others is also vital. In Buddhism, Sangha, the spiritual community, is considered one of the 3 jewels of refuge. Sharing your journey with others creates safety and support. Whether through joining a meditation group, talking with friends, or simply opening up to someone you trust, connection lightens emotional burdens and reminds you, you are not alone. And when things feel overwhelming, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors can walk alongside you, especially those who incorporate mindfulness and meditation into their work. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Another grounding tool is journaling. Writing about your feelings, thoughts, and daily experiences with stress and anxiety can offer clarity and insight. It allows you to track your emotional patterns, see how far you've come, and recognize small victories along the way. Sometimes looking back helps you see just how much strength you've built. In conclusion, managing stress and anxiety through Buddhist wisdom is not about erasing discomfort, but about transforming your relationship with it. Through mindfulness, compassion, community, and the awareness of impermanence, you begin to cultivate a deeper inner calm. With patience and dedication, this path can lead you to a more balanced and fulfilling life. In the previous part, we reflected on how mindfulness and compassion help us navigate stress and anxiety with more peace. Now, let's go even deeper into one of the most profound teachings of Buddhism, transforming pain and suffering into strength. Whether the pain is physical, emotional, or mental, our natural instinct is often to avoid it or push it away. We believe that if we ignore it long enough, it will disappear. But Buddhism teaches us a different, braver path. Instead of running from pain, we are encouraged to face it with presence, with openness, and with courage. Think of your pain as a teacher. Each time discomfort arises, it offers an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply. What is this pain trying to show you? What can it reveal about your needs, your heart, or your humanity? For instance, imagine someone who has lost a loved one. The grief feels unbearable, like a crushing weight pressing on their chest. Instead of numbing or escaping, they choose to sit quietly with that pain. They allow the sadness to be fully felt. In that sacred space, something shifts. Maybe they realize just how deeply they loved. Maybe they discover that love doesn't end when someone leaves. It simply takes a new form. In honoring their grief, they uncover strength. And this is the essence of Buddhist healing. We do not erase suffering, but we learn to transform it. The practice of mindfulness plays a vital role in this transformation. When we sit with our emotions, without judgment, without the need to fix them, we begin to observe them like waves on the ocean. By simply noticing our sensations and thoughts, we move from reaction to understanding. And in that understanding, compassion for ourselves begins to grow. You become your own ally, not your enemy, in difficult times. A powerful image from Buddhism is the lotus flower. It grows in muddy, murky waters, but from that mud it rises, pure, vibrant, radiant. The mud doesn't prevent the lotus from blooming, it nourishes it. In the same way, your suffering, though heavy and messy, can be the very soil that nurtures your spiritual growth. It can shape your strength, your empathy, and your wisdom. Another key to transforming pain is the Buddhist insight of impermanence. Everything in life changes, joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings. This means that even your darkest moments will not last forever. When pain arises, remind yourself, this will pass. Not to diminish the pain, but to hold on to hope. Like the seasons turning, your emotions are always in motion. Knowing this gives you the strength to keep going, even on the hardest days. Alongside awareness, self-compassion is essential. When you're hurting, treat yourself like you would a dear friend. Offer kindness instead of criticism, understanding instead of shame. This shift allows you to embrace your humanness, your vulnerabilities, your scars, your imperfections as part of the healing process. Another deeply empowering technique is storytelling. When you share your story, your struggles, your lessons, your journey, you take back ownership of your narrative. You are no longer just a victim of circumstances. You become a survivor, a teacher, a source of strength. Your story might help someone who's quietly walking a similar path. And in that shared understanding, a sense of community is born. Healing expands beyond the self. It becomes something collective, something compassionate. And of course, through it all, meditation remains a steady companion. Imagine setting aside a few minutes each day, just to breathe, to sit in stillness, to be with whatever arises. Over time, this simple practice becomes a sanctuary, a place where pain can be held, softened, and slowly transformed. After learning how to face pain with presence and compassion, we now explore how breathing, movement, and inner awareness become tools for transformation. As you take a slow, steady breath in, gently invite a sense of peace, of calm acceptance. And as you exhale, allow the weight of tension, stress, and negativity to melt away. With each breath, you return to stillness. You become more centered, more open. This simple practice doesn't just calm the body, it softens the heart and clears the mind, preparing you to meet your challenges with resilience and grace. Movement can also become part of your healing ritual. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi are not just physical exercises. They are moving meditations that unite body and mind. With each stretch, each breath, you release trapped emotions stored in the muscles and tissues. These mindful movements teach you how to move through discomfort, both physically and emotionally. You learn to breathe through tension, to face challenges with flexibility, not only in posture, but in perspective. When you meet discomfort with steady awareness, you grow stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. Let's not forget, pain often becomes the soil where strength is born. Think back to moments in your life when things felt impossible, times when you thought, I can't go on. But you did. You made it through. And each of those experiences carved something powerful within you. That's not just survival. That's resilience. And here's something profound. Resilience is not a passive reaction. It's an active choice. You can choose to see your struggles not as barriers, but as stepping stones. Every moment of pain can become a doorway to deeper wisdom. So, as you walk your path, hold close these principles. Sit with your pain. Let it speak. Let it teach. Practice mindfulness in the moment. Show yourself compassion on the hard days. Connect with others who walk a similar road. And remember, you are like the lotus flower, rising from muddy waters to bloom with strength and beauty. Your pain does not define you, it refines you. And every hardship you endure can shape you into someone more resilient, more awakened, more whole. As we now reach the closing steps of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored. What have the teachings of Buddhism shown us about healing? How can we take these insights and begin to live with more peace, more presence, more love? As we've come to see, understanding impermanence helps us cultivate inner resilience, allowing us to greet life's trials with a more open, compassionate heart. Throughout this journey, we've also explored the profound impact of loving kindness, or metta, a core Buddhist practice that not only heals us individually, but also strengthens our relationships. It begins simply by offering goodwill to ourselves with phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." As this gentle kindness grows within, we gradually learn to extend it outward, to our loved ones, to strangers, and even to those we find difficult. This expansion of compassion creates ripples of connection, weaving a net of support that uplifts both giver and receiver. We've also looked deeply into how nutrition and mindful eating can be part of our healing path. Mindfulness at mealtime is more than just paying attention to what we eat. It's about being present with every bite, savoring the taste, recognizing how food makes us feel, and honoring what our body truly needs. When we nourish ourselves with awareness, food becomes a form of self-love, not just fuel. This shift in relationship can lead to better choices, improved digestion, and greater emotional balance. Another key part of our journey has been managing stress, an all-too-common struggle in today's fast-paced world. The Buddhist tools of deep breathing, stillness, and meditation give us moments of refuge. Just a few quiet pauses during a hectic day where we gently bring our attention back to the breath can completely transform how we respond to pressure. These small windows of peace help reset the mind and bring clarity, allowing us to handle challenges with greater calm. As we reflect on these many insights, one truth becomes clear: healing is deeply personal. There is no single formula that fits all. Some may resonate most with mindfulness, others with compassion, or perhaps mindful living and self-reflection. The beauty lies in exploring these teachings and discovering which practices align best with your spirit. Ultimately, healing is not a checkbox or a final destination. It is a gentle weaving together of everything we've learned: mindfulness, loving kindness, balance, patience, resilience, into the very fabric of our daily life. Like threads in a colorful tapestry, each principle adds depth, texture, and strength to the life we're creating. In conclusion, Buddhism offers not just tools, but a timeless path toward healing that is both profound and beautifully accessible. By embracing these practices with an open heart, we can meet life's changes with greater grace. So be patient with yourself. Honor your unique pace. Let the wisdom settle in slowly, like rain soaking into the earth. And as you continue walking your path, may you carry these teachings gently within you. Let them be your compass when things feel uncertain. Trust that healing is already happening. One breath, one step, one kind choice at a time. If you found peace and clarity through this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Buddhism Seeds. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Your journey to natural healing is only just beginning. May it be steady, kind, and filled with light.